Hello, and welcome to Gladiodrome, the official podcast of the Deep State. Opinions expressed herein are not our own. Rusty's back. I got him. I managed to strike a deal to get him back from the human traffickers. And really, it was helpful that they could not afford his oyster budget.
Yeah, I mean that's the big thing. You know, I went out there to Las Vegas. I got human trafficked for a little bit. It wasn't necessarily the best time of my life, but the oysters are always good. I don't know where I was. They put a blindfold on me, so it's confusing.
Yeah, it's like going to go interview the Taliban, except for without the interview part. But yeah, so it's good to be back. There's been a lot of kind of interesting happenings over the past, I don't know how long it's been since the last episode. Every day feels like kind of, it's like, this sort of,
it's been like, what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think it's been longer than that, but it's like, I think that, ideally it should be more regular from here on out, because I have the big thing that got in the way of recording the last however many weeks we missed was me desperately trying to finish up my documentary, which came out in a way that no one is mad at me at all for, and I'm really happy about that. But
can I ask about that?
Yes, of course.
How did the documentary go? So this was the one behind the paywall about the Vegas shooting?
So honestly, it went great. And I still have so thankfully, because it's not on YouTube, I can kind of go back and fix little things that bug me, which is that's a really as I'm sure you're aware, it's a massive luxury to not just have something that's just oh man, I fucked up that thing, baked into the video permanently, and you can't change it unless you delete all the views. But yeah, I'm happy with the I'm happy with how it's done. It apparently was a success.
You have to send it to me, because I still have not seen it. Maybe I'm too cheap, but I wanted. I'll pay for the paywall. I have to watch it because I need to get your take on this situation. I trust your take on this more than some random TikToker when talking about what the fuck actually went on in Las Vegas.
And honestly, I can kind of do basically a brief rundown of kind of my takeaway if you're interested.
I am.
But basically the main bit of information that I feel like is kind of bringing some new stuff to the table and a new light to look at things through is, so Paddock was an arms dealer. Yeah, that's why he had so many goddamn guns in the hotel room. And that's been kind of established. There was all the FBI emails, him basically being like, hey, I've got guns for sale. Do you guys want to come buy them? Yeah, all
to the
emails.
FBI, he was emailing them, or that's just the...
Okay, so it was an FBI affidavit that included emails that he was sending to himself. But because of that, there's this thing that you can do where, if multiple people have access to the same email account and you send yourself an email, or send an email and blind copy someone, there's no record of you having sent that, but other people can come and look at the message.
Gotcha. Interesting.
And so and that's anytime you see someone talking about there being a hacked email thing and oh, go check the drafts, it's because that's a tradecraft thing. People who are up to suspicious glowy shit frequently will write and then not send an email and then have the email just saved in draft in the drafts section, and then other people can go and log into the email account and just read the email through that.
Wow, so that whole system has to be completely fucked at this point, right? Now that the secret's out.
I mean, oh yeah, that system has been out of date I mean, so it's simultaneously like useful and out of date, and it has been since like 2006.
Gotcha.
Where it's just, there's only so much that, because it's much more difficult, weirdly, to like, or it's difficult in a different way to like basically get authorization to tap like an email being sent from one party to another versus, just hacking into someone's email account. Because it's like, if you have OPSEC that's, decent, like, there really shouldn't be a way to get into your email account other than just going the hard way through Google or whatever email client you use. But that's also kind of neither here nor there. The main thing that I kind of pointed out, and to my knowledge was kind of the first person to talk about, was that Stephen Paddock had two different phone numbers that were routed through the switchboard at CIA.
Okay. All right. So yeah, two phone numbers going through the switchboard at the CIA, but what does that mean? Because I don't quite understand what that means.
Okay, so like with telephone interchanges, right? And this is going back to probably the mid 80s for the first one. The way those would work is that they're like, you have numbers between 0000 and 9999. So I think that's 10,000 technically. You have 10,000 individual numbers, and it's like a 100 by 100 patch bay. And so the way it worked is like, for a long time, you had to manually connect like which number.
Yeah, you had people listening in. You had a switchboard operator that was plugging in quarter-inch cables or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, they're actually using 4.6 millimeter cables, I believe. Like it's a weird. It has its own entire type of jack format, which is unusual. Because there really aren't that many types of phono jacks. But the deal with that is that like the phone switchboard that he was going through was the one for people that worked for CIA.
Okay.
So it's like, because, and like, it's, if you go on Wikipedia and look up the NXX code, because it's like, so with phone numbers, right, there's the area, like, so since the 90s, there's been an area code, which is the first three numbers. But up until, like, up through the 80s, it was you only had 7-digit phone numbers, and then anything that wasn't in your local area was long-distance phone calls.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know that the area code just started that recently.
Yeah, so like that's why because I remember like I learned that because I watched a Seinfeld episode where someone gave I want to say, I forget which character it was, but someone gave a character in the show their phone number. They only wrote down 7 digits, and it's like, were they just implying that it was the local area code or what? That was weird. And then I looked into it, but no, area codes didn't start until the 90s. But the way that phone systems worked was that, like, within each what is now an area code, so like, let's say, let's use Northern Virginia because it's where this switchboard is.
Sure.
Now it's 703. So it starts with 703, but within what is now like the 703 slash 571 or 572, whatever the fuck the other Nova area code is, that geographical area, there were like just a bunch of like NXX codes. So the first 3 digits of a 7-digit number is called an NXX code, and that's the physical switchboard it's going to. And then because the last 4 numbers can only go up to 9999, that it's so like the way phone systems used to work is that like you would dial the number of the physical switchboard, and then once you're at the switchboard, the next 4 numbers are which like port on the switchboard it goes into.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool, but it raises the question of like, why did this guy have his own port at the CIA switchboard?
Yeah, Paddock had a direct port.
Yeah, like Paddock has his own CIA phone number.
Yeah, right. Okay, all right. So Stephen Paddock, obviously, in cooperation with the CIA, and he's not we can rule out instantly that he's not just a disgruntled gambler.
Oh yeah, no. He was using the casino to launder his like basically he was using the casino to launder his arms dealings. Sorry, I'm trying to eat right now.
Now was this an arms deal that just went bad?
No. He was so he was just a patsy.
Okay.
Like he was roped into the whole arms deal side of it by so you remember that journalist who got chainsawed apart?
I forget.
Jamal Khashoggi?
Where, in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, the Saudi Arabian one.
Okay, yes.
Like this was like probably 2018. A lot of people got mad about that.
Yeah, I guess I would be a little bit upset myself if that happened to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, as we will come to find out, he was kind of asking for it. So this guy, first of all, he got chainsawed apart 1 year to the minute from the beginning of the Las Vegas shooting.
Is there a video of this?
I mean, there was a video of it that was streamed to Mohammed bin Salman.
I don't know how to find any of these videos anymore, and I don't know if I should still be looking this up, because...
I mean, the thing with that video is not on the internet at all.
Okay.
That was like, you know, like a FaceTime call.
Shit.
But yeah. So what I will get into, and I guess I'll just break down. Like, Mohammed bin Salman was in Vegas that night.
Okay.
He was supposed to be at that music festival.
Yeah, that's what I had heard.
Yes. He got rushed out of there, like, by his, you know, bodyguards. But Jamal Khashoggi was the nephew of Adnan Khashoggi, who was he was like the Middle Eastern version of Nicolas Cage's character in Lord of War.
Okay.
Like multi-billionaire arms dealer, and it's like, you know, do you have any idea how unethical you need to be to make like $4 billion as an arms dealer in Saudi Arabia in the 70s?
I mean, realistically, all I know about arms dealing does really come from Lords of War.
It's such a fucking good movie, dude. Like, I rewatched that recently. But yeah, like this guy was honestly, it was like a combination. If you combine the Lord of War and Wolf of Wall Street, just in terms of the amount of money this motherfucker had.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, let me grab my beer. And I'm just eating into the mic like an asshole.
Yeah, I was thinking about eating some celery, but I left it in the fridge.
Eat Pop Rocks.
Yeah, a little ASMR while we're talking about people being dismembered by chainsaws.
Yeah, crunch up lifesavers.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Jamal Khashoggi grew up in the same sort of set of people as MBS. And like one of the things I actually need to fix in the documentary is that I made the mistake of calling Khashoggi MBS's first cousin. That is not true. He just grew up with MBS. He is the first cousin of Dodi Al-Fayed, the guy who got killed with Princess Diana. But his grandpa was the personal physician of King Ibn Saud, the old king of Saudi Arabia. But so like he grew up within the palace. Like he was very much a royal insider. He went on to work before being a journalist in America. He worked for I forget the acronym. I think it's GIP, the General Intelligence Principality or something like that. The the Saudi CIA.
Okay.
So he was like a Saudi spook. And basically tried to assassinate MBS, who's the current leader, failed because MBS got like rushed out of there early.
Wait, sorry. You're saying that JIP tried to assassinate Mohammed bin Salman?
Not JIP. Like I'm saying that like Khashoggi did, but Khashoggi worked for the Saudi CIA.
Okay, so he's not just a journalist; he's like a fucking agent.
No, he was yeah, he like bullshit. He was a journalist.
Sure.
He grew up in like rubbing elbows with like the Saudi royals and like became like a Saudi intelligence agent and he is the nephew of like the most prolific arms dealer ever.
And who is his uncle?
Adnan Khashoggi.
Okay.
And I'm just butchering these names, but I'm not even going to try. Like, I feel like it's worse if I try to say it with like a
no, that sounds correct.
Arabic accent.
Adnan Khashoggi, right. The Great Gatsby of the Middle East.
Yeah, in many ways, but like extrapolating from all that, like there's ties between so one of the people and this is what I was this ties into the Epstein files actually, because I actually kind of wanted to talk about this. Like there was a email in the new Epstein email tranche that came out, right? That was between let me just pull it up because I haven't downloaded.
Now, all right. I hate to be the dumbest person in the room constantly, but I think I was either gone or I was off the internet whenever the Epstein files, whatever this new email leak got released. But I don't know who leaked it, why it got leaked.
So it was the House Oversight Committee.
Okay.
So it was from Congress, and basically I think it was a little bit of an own goal. Because what happened was there's like the whole big collection, and then this was a smaller collection that Congress had been given access to, and the Democrat I want to say I forget I don't even remember the outlet that published it, but 3 particularly bad and damning towards Trump emails came out, and as a result, the kind of Republican, because I guess they have a majority in the House right now, they voted to release the whole tranche because they're like, well, how many Democrats are in here? And then what came out was just like a bunch of insane shit that what didn't really particularly implicate either side, but it just drew in a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, the entire system seems to be completely corrupted. I mean, I guess everyone's kind of been feeling this for a while.
Oh yeah, no, it's like what they've done is, they've come precipitously close to revealing the way the government actually works. But like this, so I pulled it up right here. This is Thomas Landon Jr., who I believe is a writer for let me just look up this guy so I don't like completely misrepresent him, because I don't think he was his lawyer. He was he wrote for the New York Times as a like international finance and emerging markets writer.
Okay.
So he's like a financial writer.
Thomas Landon Jr.
Thomas Landon Jr. But he wrote to Epstein right after, basically like, so this is right after the like Las Vegas shooting, right? This is in November of 2017, like early November. He writes, I am more interested in al-Walid /Saudi purge /Jared access, period. Al-Walid and Prez go back a ways, don't they? And what he's talking about is al-Walid bin Talal, who is someone who basically after the Las Vegas shooting got sort of kidnapped and tortured for months. Is like another kind of member of the Saudi royal family. But he was the owner of the like top half of the Mandalay Bay casino.
Okay.
And then the Saudi purge is like basically all of the, it was this string of arrests and chainsawings and related things that happened after kind of what some may view as a failed coup attempt.
Do you mind if I pop in here just so I can cut this out of my head?
Yeah.
Whenever they have these chainsawings, is this like cartel style chainsawings that are brutal to the purpose of having people see it so they know what would happen to them if they ever turned against these Saudis?
From my knowledge, they use medical bone saws.
Okay. Now you seem like someone who's watched a lot of these types of videos.
I've seen all kinds of stuff like that. It seems like what they were doing is just sort of a, like they just had guys' brain. Like this wasn't to send a message. This was more of like a on general principle type deal. Of they had some guys being like, okay, what is because like they would do it in a way that like it took a while.
Yeah, did they keep them alive intentionally so that their body couldn't shut down, inject them with adrenaline or whatever it is?
Probably. Like I'm sure they do it in whatever the like worst way they've managed to find out how to do is.
Gotcha.
Like, this is less of a shock and awe and more of like a fuck this guy in particular.
Okay.
But yes, like they it doesn't sound fun. Anyways, like this whole side of things is like which is Epstein's and this was like not his lawyer, because this guy was just a journalist at the New York Times, but he was sort of a conciliary of sorts to Epstein.
Landon.
And yeah, Landon. Okay. And he like was in a bunch of email. Like he's one of the names that comes up constantly. Like this was someone who clearly Epstein knew well, and was close with. But like there's another section where like he asked Epstein, like, did all of your friends survive the purge? And Epstein was like, yes, of course, with God's help. And it's like, okay, that's weird enough to say as it is, but just specifically mentioning al-Walid bin Talal is very odd, considering he's one of the key players in the extremely Saudi-tied event that happened right before that email got sent.
Right.
And like then there's also,
dude, what the fuck? All this shit is
it's nuts. It's just like it's mind-boggling.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling too, because I mean, just being a dumb American, whenever you hear a lot of names being tossed out, like Walid bin Talal,
mm-hmm.
I think my stupid dumb American mind is still stuck in 2002 post 9/11 America, where I go, what the fuck? They're all the same.
They're all Arabs.
Yeah, right. They're the same color from that some place that starts with a P, or I don't really know where they're from.
Yeah. But it's just like it's all so intertwined, and it's like it makes sense. Like it honestly makes sense that Epstein is connected to this, considering that he was at the bare minimum, an incredibly high-level Mossad asset.
Right. So is this Mossad or is this a beyond Mossad? Is this all intelligence from multiple different areas all working together? There's some sort
It's
of
a Safari Club. It's
uh-huh.
like, you know about the Safari Club?
Yeah, I just heard about this. This is whenever what was it in Italy? There was some sort of civil war. I could be
Yeah, I think it was. I want to say it was during the years of lead.
okay, and
Um,
rich people were allowed to
oh
essentially
wait, no,
do
no.
like
Oh, so you're thinking of the one in Serbia, or like Bosnia.
I think so. Yeah, where yeah, right.
That was
They
like
allowed rich people to shoot
the human
civilians.
safaris. Yeah, that was in I want to say Srebrenica.
Okay.
Yeah, that was in like UN occupied Serbia during the Bosnian War. That's a different thing. That's also an incredibly dark, horrifying story that actually, depending on how you look at it, has its own whole way of looping back around to this first thing. But no, the Safari Club was a sort of weird intelligence agency alliance that allowed the members to sort of do dirty work in their own countries via each other. And it was the US, it was France, it was Saudi Arabia, it was Israel, and I want to say South Africa. And these are the guys that did 9/11.
Yeah, Rhodesia, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Morocco, France, Israel, Iran.
Yeah. And like the kind of later version of it, because like it started in the 70s, but maybe even before that. But yeah, like this was this sort of loose coalition of and movers and shakers that were responsible for, basically every major event of the latter half of the 20th century and the beginning of the 21st century.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, it's all just like, the reason that like every conspiracy theorist believes in all the conspiracies is that they're all one conspiracy.
Yeah, and there's always the thing that aligns with that specific year in the 70s. I don't know if it was when the gold standard was revoked or if it was later, but yeah, this is 1976. It's just around the area where finances were completely destabilized to some degree or changed.
Yeah. It was in 1973. It was the
Yes, when we got taken
was,
off the gold standard.
yeah, when
right?
we got taken off the gold standard, there was the oil embargo. I want to say, like the early 70s fuel crisis.
Okay.
And there were like 3 or 4 things, because I looked into it. There was something to do with like the way that money in Europe worked. It's all kinds of shit, but basically there was this big inflection point that just it seems to be like also that was what, under the Ford administration.
What the gold? That was under Nixon.
Okay.
Yeah, so he kicked himself out of power, and then wasn't it Ford that just took over? Was that his?
Yeah, it was Ford that took over. Like Ford was
and
his
Ford's
vice president.
He's a CIA asset. He was on like all the JFK, fucking assassination committees. What was that called? I forget.
Yeah, the War
I'm a little
Commission.
toasted. I apologize.
Oh no, I'm kind of drunk. So like we're at we're both at the same level as like the listeners. But I think that was the Warren Commission.
Yes, it was the Warren Commission.
And then the Church Commission was the one on MK Ultra.
Right, and I forget who that got released through. But so yeah, during Nixon, and possibly they kicked Nixon out. But sorry, I'm derailing you.
Oh, I mean, it's, we're recording a podcast. That's kind of the point of it. But with all this stuff, to I guess just sort of put a bow on it. like the way that this all kind of connects back to the modern day is that the way that like so there was like a business transaction that was the one that really kind of is the kind of smoking gun, in my opinion, which is that there was a super yacht purchased originally by Adnan Khashoggi, right?
Okay.
Sold to Donald Trump, who then sold it to Al-Walid bin Talal.
Okay.
So there was like a multi-$100 million transaction between these three key players.
And this is all just money laundering through the sale of a yacht?
I mean, I think it was just the sale of a yacht, not even money laundering.
But it connects them all.
But yeah, it just connects them all. It's like they all clearly know each other well enough to have $100 million business transactions.
Oh, man. All right. Yeah. See, so this gets big in my head because it's like, now we're talking about both Epstein and we're talking about Las Vegas kind of at the same time. It's all connected.
Yeah, because it seems like it is.
Yeah, it does seem like it is. And so how did they wrap up the Vegas story? So
the way they wrapped up the Vegas story was that it was because he got mad that he lost money at the casino, and he just fired 1,057 bullets, but 200 of them were through the door. So he actually only fired 857 bullets from a bunch of different guns that didn't have optics on them. A
lot of helicopters, a lot of cell phone footage that, you could have said that it sounded like there were multiple shooters, or you could say it's just sound ricocheting.
He's firing, what is seemingly full auto, and he managed to fire 857 rounds and hit 470 people.
And his brother was an insane CP collector. He had terabytes and terabytes.
So was he. So was Paddock, apparently.
Okay. Which honestly probably fucking true. Just based on the nature of how all this seems to be working. Everyone has to be corrupted some way to even get to a point of power where you can be in a position that you're dealing with these high-level players.
Yeah, and it's like, all this shit is so bizarre, and it's just, like, and I'm gonna, basically, after I, we can record this episode, I'm gonna, in the morning, with a clear mind, go back through this and listen to this and figure out how much of this I need to clip.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because we're really kind of pissing on the third rail here. But
should I proceed with caution, or should I try to limit what I'm saying?
No, you proceed with caution. I think it's just like, there may have to be some judicious censoring.
Judicious.
Indeed. Actually, speaking of that, to put a pin in this, how about the Department of Homeland Security?
Yes. Okay. So, what happened today on
ridiculous.
On Twitter? First off, this had to have been intentional. I don't think anyone working at Twitter would do this by accident unless it was some sort of power play. I don't know if Elon's involved in this. I don't know who's all working alongside Twitter the same way as before it was clearly the FBI and the CIA and a lot of other people. But they added an update where you could see where an account was originally created and opened up.
And also where the account is based.
Okay.
So it's not just where the account was created, but where they're posting from. And if any of you were on are familiar with the 4chan boards, it's like the way int works, where the international board where you have the country flag next to your name.
Yeah, and that would be something that you would kind of want to see, because then it could tell you if the dead internet theory aspect of what you're seeing online is true, or is it being manipulated by other countries, which is something I think everyone's familiar with. Is this Russia trying to propagandize people towards being, pro Confederate Civil War, or
is like based Israeli Aryan 1488 actually from Israel, or is he from India?
And it seems like they're all from Bangladesh.
Yeah. There's also a surprising amount from the kind of Balkans region.
Well, the Balkan. All right. What's the Balkan region? Sorry, is that like where Cyprus is?
It's Serbia, Macedonia.
So I've had a little bit of in the past, I've had these people use my content in order to sell ads, and I thought about trying to sue them, get a lawyer and sue them, but the lawyer essentially said these people do not play ball with any sort of country that is associated with the American legal system, so there's really nothing you can do.
Yeah.
And so it's like dead in the water there.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
Right. So, but the biggest bombshell, maybe not the biggest, but one of them, was that the Department of Homeland Security.
Oh, definitely the biggest, I think. They had to take the feature offline for like 4 hours until they could patch it, so it didn't show that anymore.
Yeah, they said it was a glitch, right? It was so Department of Homeland Security is based from an account out of Israel.
Yes, it was like if you clicked for a while, like they launched the feature, you could go see where people were from. The Department of Homeland Security account at DHS.gov was. And there are multiple, they're trying to claim that screenshots are faked, blah, blah, blah. But there are videos of people doing it to show that it's not inspect element. It was showing up as, the account was created in and being run from Israel. And this was the same DHS Gov account that has been getting a little silly recently. The one that, they were posting this video of they posted that meme of all of the black guys that had gotten arrested or deported inside soul gems.
I did not see this. I don't follow DHS.
Insane. You should. I mean,
I'm doing it now.
It's like if you just scroll back through it, they got yelled at because they were posting Halo memes implying that all the people getting deported are the flood.
Now listen, I might be a little crazy here, and I probably am, but for some reason I already have Homeland Security blocked on Twitter, so I guess I have to unblock them. I don't remember why I would have done that.
Is it at Homeland Security or at DHS.gov?
At DHS.gov.
Yeah, unblock them. There's some interesting posts there if you scroll back.
Okay, all right. Now I'm following them.
Yeah, no, it's I would have assumed it was a Groiper parody account.
Sure.
Just from the stuff they're posting, but yeah, no, apparently that's being run out of Israel. But when people noticed, what happened was they took down the feature for 4 hours to fix that. They brought it back online, and now you can't check where any official state-affiliated account is being run from. And Nikita Beer, who is the guy who's head of product at Twitter and kind of the guy who is, he's the person you tweet at if there's a big crazy problem you have on Twitter, and he might answer. But
say his name one more time.
Nikita Beer, Nikita Bier. he tried to claim that, for security and privacy reasons, we're not publicizing, what location any country's state affiliated.
Yeah, but they did
Twitter
for some reason.
So this was afterwards. That was a change they made. But what I don't understand is, if these are state affiliated accounts, shouldn't they be from the country that they are affiliated with?
Absolutely, they should be, and there's no way this was an accident. I mean, these are people who clearly understand the power of their platform. Why would they possibly do this and act like this was just an we didn't even realize that this was going to be an unintended result, that it would reveal the nature of where all these accounts are being operated from. So is that Elon? Is that Nikita? Who else is on the inside of X that would have even signed off on this? And leaving it up for 4 hours is all they needed to do. And then to take it down, they have an alibi by saying that this was just, whoopsie daisy, we didn't realize all this other information would come out. They certainly had to have known that beforehand, or else why would they even want to do it in the first place?
I mean, I think that this was one of those things where it was like what this feels more like to me than anything else is another great Elon move of when Doge just went into the USAID office and just started unplugging cables to see what in the world turned off.
Yeah.
And it's they accidentally revealed that I forget which, it might have been the Atlantic or something, or no, Politico. They unplugged some USAID thing, and then Politico couldn't do payroll 1 month.
Oh shit! And then his child punched him in the eye, and he got a black eye, and he quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it was just one of those being so so kind of oblivious to the nature of the incredibly shady and obfuscated way that everything works. When he was, he spent 6 hours being guys, this is crazy. I'm looking through the black budget, and the way that this is, look how much money I'm saving by not buying these $2,000 forklift tires and these $85 coffee mugs. And it's retard. That's how we pay for the stealth bomber. We're not going to just on our taxes write down stealth bomber $1 billion.
Now, do you think that he doesn't know that, or is he playing dumb?
I actually think he might not.
How do you become possibly the richest person in the world, and potentially in the next year or so the first trillionaire in the world, without having an enormous amount of pressure and being slightly, I mean, obviously,
look, I don't think he's dumb. I think he's just autistic.
Yeah, but that's I think that's a trained type of autistic.
The what I think it is he's someone who is so granularly focused, right? And that is a skill set that has been so successful in business, and allowed him to genuinely. I do think Elon Musk is very good at I would say world class at specifically taking a small business and scaling it to a medium to large business.
That's one way to make a few $100 million, but how do you make a few $1 billion?
Few $100 billion.
A few $100 billion.
I think it's by doing that with enough small things that are kind of Reddity and sci-fi enough,
the Boring Company, and we're going to Mars, and
we're going to Mars, we're making electric cars, we're gonna create a way to send money through the computer, whatever. You
don't think he's not just a money laundering tool for huge governments and very, very powerful people. Like, he's not actually as rich as he is. He's just the bank.
His money is like the entire stock market is fake. Like, if you look at like the price to earnings on Tesla, it's like, it's someone who's like the first billionaire whose fortune is in Beanie Babies.
Right.
But I do think that he is like genuinely very effective at like, like, I feel like he's like a Mr. Beast type guy.
Which is also a very interesting person. I mean, I think you can be both, though. You can be charismatic. You can be good at business. You have to be. It's not necessarily like you have to put a fucking retard into these positions so you can have like a Hudsucker proxy type of thing and just use them however you please. They're smart on their own. They're successful on their own. But if they want to 100x their power and their profits, then they have to play ball. You're not allowed to be rich and independent.
Yeah. And I think what is kind of happening is that, like, his skill set is just like making the jump from, like, basically, business / finance to government. There's a whole lot of things that are done in such a kind of opaque way that if you just go in and, like, don't listen to anyone and do the kind of Silicon Valley move fast, break things, bulldogging it, streamlining it, simplifying it. What that can accidentally do is, like, you're flipping over a whole lot of rocks and some of them might have stuff under them.
Mm-hmm. Which is good. I mean, I feel like you almost have to do that, especially when you're building, not to be cliche, but you're building a house of cards, but you're tossing a bunch of rocks and building this Zen garden, not realizing that there's radioactive phosphorus bio waste underneath it.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of just what keeps happening. And the fact that he keeps being like, because with the whole black budget thing, like, he just completely dropped that and never talked about it again, and then kind of made his exit from Doge after that.
No, but not without, publicly saying what everyone knew, that Trump was on the Epstein list, which I don't think we've even gotten into yet.
Oh, yeah, no, that's like the whole Trump and Epstein thing. Like, I know that, like, the kind of the, I don't know, crown prince of neolibs, and, like, I don't even mean that in, like, a mean way, but because I do like the guy, but it's just kind of funny how much flack he gets. Slazak? That account?
I don't know.
Slazac. He made a post that was like, the funniest possible outcome to this is that Trump wasn't a pedophile, but he was trying to suppress the like, Epstein list anyway, because it has like video of him giving Bill Clinton a blowjob.
Right, which doesn't that seem like that would be the best type of red herring bait that you could take? It doesn't really do anything. It's not damaging to anyone except for Trump's ego.
Yeah. And I think that, like, because I'm confident, like, so just to get this out of the way, 100,000%, allegedly, Trump, has, like, raped 13-year-olds with Epstein. Like, there have been so many people. You don't, like, have that many people that you settle out of court with who are like, hey, you sodomized me when I was like 13.
Right.
And then you're like, let's let me get my wallet out and we'll go over there for you to take this to court.
He owned Miss Teen, like the fucking beauty pageants. Like, obviously he was clearly involved in all this stuff.
Oh,
He
yeah,
could talk
like,
his way out of it and pretend like he didn't know anything. But I mean, what does that even really mean when I feel like everyone's already uncomfortably familiar with the idea that our entire world's leaders are
yeah,
compromised pedophiles and
yeah,
vicious murderers.
yeah. No, it's just like, and I think that it's just kind of become, and conspiracy theorists have been batting 400, this last month or so.
I don't like it. I don't want it to be true.
Yeah, me either.
It's upsetting. It's like it's going, oh damn, fucking that was correct too. Shit.
Yeah.
There's no win there. It's a loss for everyone.
Yeah, it's just like, I guess I was right.
Yeah.
Did you see the email from Epstein's lawyer to Epstein that like was one of the first Pizzagate articles, like when that whole thing started breaking? And he just emailed Epstein, "Do you have anything you want to tell me?"
No. I see. I didn't read through the 20,000 pages, so a lot of it's like it only comes out whenever someone else who's doing more work than I am brings it to my page, my homepage. But of course, it's like there's still a class of normies. Here's the problem: is that there's still a large class of normies who are too busy to pay attention. They're too. They have to deal with their own lives. They don't make money from the internet by talking about whatever the fuck they want. They have to go to their jobs, and they all want to fit into their friend groups and their social class groups. And so the idea of Comet Pizza and Pizzagate is still so insanely out of their ballpark of consideration that like I just want them to go back and rethink it. Is this still crazy? It's not still crazy anymore. How could it be?
Yeah, because like we've gotten just straight up acknowledgement from the emails that like every person involved in these is just like, "Hey Jeffrey, do you have any underage girls this week? I sure would love to have sex with them." And then it's like fucking.
Yeah, Jamie Dimon from fucking CEOs of banks.
Larry Summers, like.
You're right.
Just
I hear that he's keeping his job until he wants to continue his responsibilities as an educator at Harvard, so he's not just
I'm sure
dropping out in shame.
Like the same Harvard that just had like that one office get bombed.
I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, like this, I think kind of didn't make the news as much as you would expect, but there, like something at Harvard exploded. And like,
how recently?
Like, I want to say after the Epstein emails came out.
Of course, they meant to do it the day of, but there was a time delay.
Well, it was like the same way that like, like with Michael Aquino, like there was like, all of the records about this thing were stored in this office. Oh no, it burned down. And then it's like, well, luckily we have backups in this other building. Oh, that burned down too.
Yeah. Tower 7.
Yeah. It would be like if 9/11 happened and then like, 2 or 3 weeks later, like they were like, wait, there's some clues as to what happened in Building 7. Let's go take a look, and then it fell down.
Right, 9/11/2 happens shortly after, conveniently.
Yeah,
man. So what? All right, you tell me from what you've learned. What is the most damning things that have come out of these recent Epstein emails, and what do you think is going on with the releases and the voting on these releases that are supposed to be happening soon?
So, I mean, like, in terms of damningness, it's like anyone who looks at these with their eyes is just like, okay, I see what's going on here. Like and I know that, and I'm just, I didn't actually look at this email, but I did hear the Chapo guys talk about it. But it was between it was between Epstein and some Mossad handler, and the Mossad guy was like, yes, I am, I'm letting you borrow my Bluetooth headphones, and then in this, like on this day, I will return and pick up my Bluetooth headphones, and you'll give me the money back, and like, just the most like half-assed version possible of just like.
You're saying that they're clearly doing some dealings that are a lot bigger than just Bluetooth headphones.
Yeah, just like the way they were talking about it, like there's just so much, foreign involvement in all of this, and then also just everyone knew what was going on. Like they're just like I think that it's just you can't really get more damning than this because it's just like. If you read any of the emails, everyone's on the same page.
For sure.
But in terms of like the release of it, like I think that because there was like there was that thing that was I want to say it was Mike Johnson, I think. Is he the current Speaker of the House?
Sounds correct unless he recently stopped.
Yeah, no, I think he is. He came out saying that like we just can't release the whole Epstein files right now. That would be a risk to national security. And it's like, oh, that's great. That's just what you want to hear.
Why?
But, I mean, because it involves all kinds of foreign espionage.
Yeah.
Like. It's like, oh, it's a risk to national security, and the nation in question whose security would be threatening is Israel.
It's one of these. It's like, all right, I don't know how big it gets. This is the shit that drives me insane. Is the more that all this information comes out, I don't know if this has always been the nature of government and international affairs. You always talk to like boomers or financial advisors throughout the past century, and they'll say, it's always been crazy. Just invest in the market. But I think things are insanely crazier now than they ever have been, to a point where it's almost incomprehensible. Like, I don't even know what the fuck is going on.
Like, even like 10 years ago, if this shit had come out, like we would have had to get an entire new government.
Right. It makes me wish for the days when radical Islamic terrorists hated America for their freedom and would just bomb a tower. I wish that was true, because that makes a little bit more sense to me than what the fuck is happening. Everyone's a Satanist pedophile and they're all sucking each other's dicks.
It's just like, and I feel like we're just rapidly converging on like, next step. It's going to be like, oh yeah, lizard people are real.
Yeah, like, right. And exactly. So I wonder if that's where it's going, because they keep trying to do the alien thing where the aliens are coming out. And I don't know if that's a soft rollout. Is that a cold rollout where just get everyone kind of familiar with the idea before they finally break the news that, yes, we are reverse engineering. And this sounds crazy, so I don't even want to go down this route, because I think it's all just a distraction, because it's so annoying how every time something is happening, there's some agent, someone who worked in the military saying, I'm disclosing this information. We have alien technology, and no one believes it because they're on the Sean Ryan show or going on Joe Rogan. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're whistleblowing. It's not how you do it.
It's like, then, something that was funny during Biden was when Hunter Biden was having all of his legal issues, every single day that Hunter Biden was in court, and like you can go back and look this up, every single like day that Hunter Biden was in court for his buying a gun while smoking crack charge, there was like a press conference, that was when all of the I forget what the guy's name was, but sort of the G.
Greer?
Greer, yes. That's when all those hearings were going on, and like they were having to like just amp up really break out the big guns, because like pretty quickly people were like, no, I want to see if Hunter's going to jail, and they're like, yes, we have aliens. I have seen one. I have touched one. It had spit mustard on me, or some mustard-like substance. I had fucked one, like, and it's
like the average person cannot care. I mean, most of this is beyond, I would say, most people's heads, including myself. This is always hard for me to have to be able to wrap your mind around, like, the entirety of this convolution that has just been building and building and building upon itself. And so it's like you're trying to show the average American who's having trouble buying a house or paying rent, don't worry about Hunter Biden smoking crack. There's aliens. And it's like,
no.
Fuck. All right. Well, the question everyone always asks, the obvious one, is like, do I have to go into work tomorrow?
Yeah. And it's just like, the problem with aliens is that like I think that the powers that be, our glorious leaders, I think because they seem to be very concerned with aliens for whatever reason. I don't really care. That doesn't really affect me that much. Like, I think they massively overestimate the amount that the average person is interested in whether or not we're like, we have like flying saucers and shit.
Where do you stand in your heart on this matter?
In my heart, like, of course we have it. Of course there's aliens. Like, I have, my view on aliens is like, learning more about aliens has never made anyone feel better ever.
Yeah, sure. There's no good outcome.
I mean, it's not even that. It's just like like it just, I feel like learning the truth about aliens and, take that however you wish to, like, it's always like oh man, that so that it's like, oh, I feel worse now.
Oh, we all really are truly energy slaves to the Anunnaki. Like, fuck.
Yeah, it's just,
and they're raping children.
Yeah, it's just like one of those, like, well, that's a bummer.
I know. Shit. Well, there goes all religion and hope.
Yeah, it's just, and it's like, like, okay, well, all right.
Now, we have all these theories of like weird shit that has come from our past, and aliens is obviously a huge one that seems to have popped up at a certain time, and I don't know why they're specifically using it. Like, I've never, unlike you, I've never worked within the CIA to try to trick people into thinking certain things. But it's like, why would they be picking aliens now? If aliens are real and we have their technology or something, it does make sense that they would do something like a Project Blue Beam. Like, is this just a working? They have good writers, I assume. It's Wag the Dog. Like, you have good writers that. How do we trick How do we trick the world into thinking a certain thing in order to what? Give up freedoms? We have to fake an alien attack.
I mean, I think that like it seems like from everything, because they've been trying to do this shit since the 70s, and like I think that what they think is that if we could all just come together and like the way that everyone in America came together, like to in World War II, and it's like,
right.
First of all, no, we didn't. Like, there was like all kinds of like local chaos here. Like there, it gets overshadowed by World War II, but there was all of the there was the Zoot Suit riots. There was the fucking, the German American Bund didn't love what was going on. It was much less unified as than like they'd like to present it as. And I think that the most I don't know, positive or I'm trying to think of the word, the most generous reading that I can give anyone doing any of this kind of shit is that what they want is for us to become the UNSC from Halo.
Not being a Halo player, unfortunately.
It's basically the entire when the Covenant arrives and when we have to start fighting aliens, the entire world comes together as one unified force.
Yeah, right. Because we have a common enemy, and it takes all of our power all at once.
It's the UN Space Command, United Nations Space Command.
But what they really want, what they're really trying to do, if it's not a genuine thing, if it's not childhood's end, and we don't have these overlords with their UFOs above the White House, then it's to scare people into giving up all the power so they can roll out new surveillance, I would imagine.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
It's to, just kind of make it so that they can just stop having to hold up this charade and let the panopticon be public. And also a big part of it really from the financial perspective is they really, 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 really want every individual person on Earth to be basically economically fungible. Whereas there's not a economic difference in, the, consumer viability of someone from India versus someone from Norway versus someone from Argentina versus whatever. They want it to be there's just rich and poor people everywhere, and there's not and you see that with the push for globalization,
is that Agenda 2030? Is that? I forget.
That's one of it. That's part of it. The you'll own nothing and be happy. And I just want to state this for the record. I would rather have everybody on Earth die than live in a smart city.
I think a lot of people would agree with you.
It's just fuck this.
Yeah. No, whenever there's any, Adonis, wow, there might be an alien craft that's coming here to wipe out the Earth. A lot of people are just please let me see the end of it.
Yeah, it's just let us fucking, I don't trust you. This is all bullshit. We'll roll the dice.
Yeah, it's so tiring. I mean, maybe this is the first generation or the first series of generations after the boomers, or maybe after Gen X, where, we don't just have the Fox CNN dynamic and Bill O'Reilly and whoever else telling us one way or the other, and the war is
Keith
this.
Olbermann.
Yeah, it's you turn on the news I say turn on the news as though there's a TV with news on it. But you see, okay, this person's a pedophile this day and they're in charge of this. This person is aliens are out now. New security state. Israel's completely running everything. Every piece of entertainment you consume is being categorized and manipulated to show you something that is not what you'd actually believe. It's so fucking tiresome.
Yeah, no, everyone's just done with it. Everyone's it's just reached a point of, no one they've squeezed all of the juice out of life for everyone. And now they're wait, why is everyone a nihilist now? Why don't they want to live? This whole plan, this whole plan relies upon most people being really attached to their continued existence.
Sure. And then you give them the option of, well, just turn your computer off, touch grass. touch grass that's poisoned. Weather manipulation's real. Don't move out into the woods because you might be living on top of a quartz mine and they'll burn it down. You'll have your land stolen from you. There's nothing you can fucking do. You can't even drink the water out of any lakes because it's all poisoned. It's all fucking rotten. And it's like, what the fuck? I mean, self-sustainability is the best option, I think, at this point, and probably tuning out a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, maybe there's a way to win.
I think you're completely right. But I think it's just like the problem is just like the ball has started rolling in a way that's like the only way to reverse the change of that would probably cause more damage than it's preventing.
Has there ever been a time in history that you can think where there was an actual practical and organic revolution that probably had to destroy the entire system that it was acting under, but it wasn't just controlled and directed in a way that perpetuated the same problem? Does that make sense? You know, like the French Revolution wasn't necessarily fully organic.
Yeah. I'm trying to...
Because now it seems like it's getting harder and harder.
Kind of, I would say the American Revolution.
American Revolution. What about, like, even the People's Revolution in China seemed like it had actually unintended good results over the course of a certain amount of time.
I mean, so the thing in China is like what had good results is like, because like basically the entire time under Mao was just fucked.
Right.
Like, the only thing Mao really achieved was like just burning down and leveling and fucking up everything so bad that, like, you know, it did kind of get rid of a lot of the remaining vestiges of power and control there. And the entire, like, prosperity of modern China is kind of, should be, like, the person that should be credited for that is Deng Xiaoping.
Who's Deng Xiaoping? Sorry, not to get too much into
he was the guy who came after Mao.
Oh, okay.
Actually, he might have been the guy that came after the guy after Mao. Like he became whatever, he became the Discord mod of China in, I want to say, 93.
Okay.
But he was the one who kind of like recapitalized.
He harnessed the chaos.
Yeah, like he was the one who basically made China have the economic system that, honestly, that I'm in favor of, which is like, it's more or less capitalism, but then it's just like whenever a company gets big enough, the state just takes ownership.
Sure, things have to happen, right? They have to happen that way.
Because it's like, you know, otherwise you're going to get just a million billion Boeings where, like, because as soon as there was the, like, Boeing McDonnell Douglas merger, like, what they did was they took a company that had been being run by engineers and, you know, was like one of the most solid companies just in finance. And they're like, you know, oh, there's so much juice we could squeeze out of this by just, instead of spending money on R&D and, like, you know, quality control and safety shit, if we just, like, put that into stock buybacks.
Right.
And they've basically destroyed the company within 20 years by doing that. But it's like, there was 80 really profitable quarters.
Yeah, like at some point, right. I mean, God, I hate to say it. I hate thinking in this way that for some reason there has to be an overarching control if you want to have some sort of, I don't know, illusion of free market. Eventually, it's going to be, you're going to have, nothing but a bunch of monopolies unless someone is in charge of it. But you just have to trust that those people aren't Satanist lizards.
Yeah, it's like, you got to have, like, and that's, in a weird way, why, like, you know, there's all the people, like, you know, pushing for, like, you know, an increase in, you know, religion back in government. It's like, I don't really have any way to feel about that one way or another, because it's like, you know, I look at the, you know, one country that is a theocracy that is being run, by my religion.
Sure.
Too bad. I'm kidding. I mean,
but it seems to be working, though. I mean,
it's working for them, but it's like they're also fucked up and like they're evil.
Yeah, right. You can't have you have a unified theory, or a unified set of rules and morals that everyone lives under, like a cult. It's, I mean, obviously, whatever.
Yeah.
Not to.
I mean, of course it's a cult, and it's just like, I mean, like what it is they're just like they're Nazis. They're just. I mean, they're like one step beyond that. It's like if you combined like Nazis and the Catholic Church.
Yeah, right. They're religiously justified Nazis.
Yeah. No, they're like, instead of it just being like, this land is ours because we were here first, it's like, God said we could have this land.
Which is hard to refute.
Yeah. Because it's like also like a argument silver bullet of just like, it's like the guy, like, whenever you were a kid and like, someone was like, well, my power is that I can have as many powers as I want.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, bullshit. Shut up.
Yeah, but they might be right.
I mean,
I wonder. All right. I'm a very, very much a nihilist and a doomer and black pilled to way worse than I should be. But it seems like whatever the mechanism behind, and I'm not going to say Judaism, but behind the Zionism has worked. The international connectivity and collaboration of working together in a way where you help out your own clan at the expense of others. Like, it seems like that's the working mechanism.
Unfortunately, yes, it does work. And the problem with that is if you extrapolate that, it's like, damn, that's just National Socialism.
Well, like the Scottish tried to do this too. I mean, there's a lot of different. There's a lot of different peoples.
That's the current government of I think, like, isn't that what Sinn Fein is? Sinn Fein, whatever the fuck the Irish one is.
Oh, maybe. Are they doing that same thing? They're finally banding together and saying fuck all this shit.
Yeah, like I'm gonna get a million, drunken patties in my DMs being like, no, you're completely wrong, and like you just you're making an ass of yourself, and it's like, I don't care. But like also like I would like to take a brief detour here. Like, if you have like a moral qualm or criticism against me, like, and you DM it to me, 99 times out of 100, I'm not going to even read it. I'm going to be like, oh, that's a long message, boring. And then like the one time I do read it, I'll usually like publicly make fun of it. Like, go tell people who care. But that's.
Well, if it's good, you can tell me, and then I'll try to relay the message.
Okay, yeah. Like if you have a good criticism, you can tell Rusty. You can tell people. Like, just if you have a good criticism, post it publicly. But like people who just are cowards, DM it to you because they don't want to post it publicly because they know it's weak and rambling.
Right.
But that's like I said, neither here nor there. But yeah, no, it's just like all of the economic systems that seem to be working. Like China seems to be doing well, but you also look at China and it's a Han ethno state. Like,
right.
And it's just, I'm not going to come out in favor of ethno states because I'm like, I think that there's obvious issues there, but it's just like, I don't know,
it certainly gets out of my realm. It gets to a point where I have to continue thinking down this route in order to piece more on top of it. But the idea of freedom doesn't seem like something that's attainable at the level of
yeah,
absurdity that exists in the world and complexity.
Yeah, because it's just like there's so much stuff where it's like true freedom would result in the ability to basically stun lock or in video game rules soft lock 99.9% of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of what we're seeing.
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of what it looks like.
Where it's just, and I think, there needs to be some kind of there needs to be rules in place.
I just
to
don't
prevent that, but
I don't want the rulers to be
evil.
Insane.
I don't want them to be evil.
Yeah, insane people.
It's like, because it seems like if you look at, anyone that, it seems like we have, these cabals that are fighting for control, and, you look at them and they're just, rubbing their nipples and going, ooh, I'm thinking of all the ways I can make this so much worse for them. And it's like, no, you need to be boiled.
Yeah, I mean, and so maybe this is what happens. Maybe everything gets so fucking cooked that it causes a global reset. Do you just reach a point where, I mean, everyone's fingers on the trigger and everyone's just worshiping Baal or
Moloch.
Moloch, and sacrificing children and drinking blood and rubbing stem cells from foreskins on their face in order to be young forever. And then everyone's in control before it's just like, someone's going to be like, this has to end. And then that's when you restart. And then they look at Jeff Bezos's world clock or whatever, 10,000 years from now. And they say, how did this get built?
Yeah. And the pyramids.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we have it. We just don't understand what kept happening over and over and over again.
And I think it's just, the same as it ever was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there something that we didn't cover on these Epstein emails? Was it the release? What's happening now? God damn it.
Basically, there's a release that has been signed into law by Trump. Because, the House voted on it. The Senate had the votes. The House voted on it. Shout out to Representative Clay Higgins for being the one person brave enough to be like, I really, really, really don't want these to come out.
They fucking threw him under the bus so hard. He was probably talking to all the other people and, just saying like, all right, so we're all voting against this, right? And they're like, yeah. And then he's the only person.
It was like a high school prank.
Right.
Oh yeah, no, dude, we're all going to say no.
Hey, aren't you the only guy who voted against releasing the Jeffrey Epstein list?
Yeah.
I guess it was an accident. I hit the wrong button.
Yeah, no. My finger slipped.
Clay Higgins is such a fucking loser. I don't even know who this guy is.
He's a congressman from Louisiana. He sounds like have you ever seen True Detective?
Yes.
The first season, he sounds like the crab fisherman.
I have to rewatch, the Crab Fisherman, unless he was the Yellow King, then.
No, the one who's like the, oh, I've been living here about, really extreme Cajun accent.
Gotcha.
I couldn't even remember the line, but, didn't surprise me that she wound up like that. He sounds like he is permanently carrying a pot of gumbo.
Do you think he's faking his accent to sound a little bit more Cajun?
Well, I don't even think he is. I think he's probably trying to dial it down.
Oh, fair, yeah. I mean, I didn't know if it was like a George Bush type of thing where he's just a Texan.
It's like, a Texan who grew up in Connecticut.
Right.
No, I think I think Clay Higgins is a good old boy.
Clay Akins.
Clay Akins.
Yeah, Clay Higgins is fucking. This is hilarious. Just like if that wasn't intentional in any way to have one person just be on the complete wrong side of all popular opinion.
Yeah, like if he didn't get his like straw drawn at whatever, whatever the orgy where they pick who's going to be the next person to do the humiliation ritual.
Oh yeah, right. He's not a Fetterman, whatever the fuck happened to him.
Yeah. Did you see? I don't know if you saw my incredibly contrite, heartfelt, genuine apology video that I put out.
No.
Well, after I'll send you a link to it.
Okay.
But one of the things I apologized for was saying that Israel was threatening to release a blackmail tape of John Fetterman trying to pet a bunny rabbit.
Oh, a little bunny rabbit?
Yeah.
That I love forever and ever and ever.
Yeah. I also said that I apologized for telling people that Tom Scott was one of the founding members of Lost Prophets.
Now, that's beyond my head.
Anyways.
Oh, Tom Scott. Yeah, all right, the YouTuber.
Like the YouTube guy, Red Shirt, and then Lost Prophets, the band with the guy who is like he was trying to like pedophile Max.
Oh, that's right. He got murdered in prison in the past.
He got murdered in prison recently. Also over a drug debt, not over any of his results, but like.
Wait. We're talking about Ian Watkins?
Ian Watkins, the one who was like, like he was trying, like he was like attempting to like rape a baby, and then he was like, oh yeah, that was mega lols.
Yeah,
like,
that's how most people would describe that.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. And he got caught with something like 30 terabytes of CP.
Which, I mean, not to get into the whole argument of terabytes of CP, but it's an astronomical amount of data.
Like, oh yeah. There's that line in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas where it's like, once you get locked into a serious collection, there's a tendency to see how far you can push it.
I guess so. I mean, I'm thinking like just trying to edit on Final Cut Pro and all the all the backup renders.
8K. They're shooting it on like an Ari, like a
yeah. What the
Ari
fuck?
Alexa.
What's going on over here?
They got someone's just like oh yeah, I'm flying to Thailand with nothing but like hand sanitizer and this red helium 8K.
Dude, you can't even go to Thailand anymore. I'm sure it's beautiful in its own right, but
it's a bummer because I want to see the Siamese. Like,
yeah, I want to see some of it.
Like, I fucking love the animals there. Like I'm a big gibbon appreciator, but it's like I gotta go with I need to find 15. Like, I need to have like a harem of women to go with me.
Right, just to prove.
Not look suspicious.
So you don't look like you're sex trafficking anyone. You have to get 15 women to go with you to Thailand to look at the monkeys.
Yeah, be like genuinely, like I've thought about it. It's like the only way to do that is you need to be an IRL live streamer and live stream yourself the whole time.
Right. Oh, so why the gibbons? Because there's like these other monkeys that I fucking hate. There's these certain ones that they just seem so mean and vicious.
And the ones that steal people's glasses and shit.
Yeah, and they scream at you and they make nasty faces, and you just want to slap them and be like, eh.
Oh yeah, no, those are monkeys. Gibbons are apes. And the Siamese are the type of gibbon that they have the throat pouch. They're like, whoop, 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 whoop. Like they make the whoop noise.
I'm thinking macaques is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, macaques are nasty. They're wretched little monkeys, but the Siamese I vibe with.
All right, I gotta look.
They just like yelling.
Yeah, and that's fine. They make cool noises.
Yeah, they have a throat pouch that inflates like a frog.
Fuck, I gotta look up these. All right, I'll look this up afterwards.
Yeah, it's and we're coming up on what? Almost 2 hours. It looks like.
I mean, I don't know how long we're recording beforehand, but it's got to be around 1 hour 23 minutes or 1.5, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't really have anything else I feel the need to add. Yeah, so this should be going up on the Flesh Emulator channel. I'm going to try to get this episode and then all the prior ones onto Spotify and Apple Podcasts and wherever podcasts are sold. Yeah, and I think we should be starting to do these more regularly now that I'm not desperately trying to meet a deadline that I've missed.
I really think that once we get into the swing of it, then it'll be a lot easier. Once we know when it's happening, when we have to be attentive to it. It just takes like getting used to that schedule.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, honestly, Sunday nights work for me.
Sunday nights work for me as well. There's nothing going on, and I have nothing. So
cool. All right. Let's. All right. Thank you. This has been Gladiodrome.